Right, back with another Claude video. I wanted to show you something that I found super cool today. And yeah, I thought I would share it with you and let you use it for some inspiration. So the goal with this project that I've had today is to use Claude to take a blog post that we have that is ranked on a website. It's doing okay, but we want it to do a lot better, right? So we want to improve the content. So that's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to be showing you how I did it step by step and how I used the project feature in Claude to do that. If you're new around here, my name's Sam Wilcox. I run Natural, which is an agency that works with B2B companies to help them drive growth through design, systems, automations, and essentially just optimizing the whole customer journey. So let's jump into this project. I'm working with a company called Built. I work with them very, very closely. And one of the things that we were looking at was the traffic that the website generates for the company. As I mentioned earlier on, we had a blog post that's doing okay. We wanted to enhance that blog post with Claude and make it a much more useful piece of content so that hopefully it will rank better on Google. So I'm going to walk you through how I did that step by step. So first things first, I want to give Claude as much information as possible to what good looks like, right? And that's what this project knowledge section is all about. So the first thing that I did was make sure that I put some custom instructions in. We're a UK company, so I want to make sure that it's always writing in British English, so I don't have to remove the Z's. And then what I did secondly is I used Google Search Console for to actually analyze the page itself, the blog post itself, and find the queries that blog post is ranking for. If you go into Google Search Console, you can grab that data, upload it as a CSV, download it as a CSV, drop that into the project knowledge base here. And then I did a search for the main keyword that I think this blog post is going to appear for on Google. And it's a pretty long tail keyword already, and I'll show you what it is in a minute, but essentially it's helping tradesmen in the UK, so people that are in the construction business, get paid faster, because one of the problems that they have is not getting paid quick enough by their customers. So it's search term related to that, and then I found the best blog posts I could find on that topic, and I just copied them into the project knowledge, which you can do by just clicking add content. You can add text here, and I just put blog 1, 2, or 3, and then I just pasted the whole blog in there. Now it's important that I just set the precedent here is that we're not trying to copy these blog posts. What we're trying to do is show Claude what good looks like. So you can see we've got 3 really good blog posts I've loaded in. And then we can see I started the chat here, so I'm going to walk you through it. I'm just going to show you what it did, which blew my mind. I got to unlock beast mode halfway through this, which is really cool. So let me just show you this chat. So the first thing that I did is I uploaded our existing blog post, which is titled "Get Your Customers to Pay on Time," right? Which is probably not the best title for an SEO blog post anyway. But I kind of wanted to just forget about SEO to some degree and just make this a really useful piece of content. So gave Claude the instructions here that I want to drastically improve the usefulness of the blog. Reference all of the project knowledge to the 3 blog posts and the search terms that it's currently being found for, and then come up with a new outline, right? So first off, let's just start with the outline. Get me a new outline of how we can actually create a really good post here that's actually going to be relevant to our customers. So it came up with a pretty good outline. I'm happy with the outline that it put together. After that, I then asked it to then create a unique piece of content that doesn't plagiarize the other blog posts that I've already put in here. I think that's really important. And there's really a couple of things that I wanted to drill home with it, really, which is I want this to be a comprehensive article. It needs to be long form. I want it to be good and useful. I want it to be pretty casual in tone because the company wants to speak to tradesmen in the UK. And I wanted to include a lot of examples, right? So one of the things that I find most useful in content is when it can give examples of what it's explaining. So I had said that we should include that. And then I also asked it to highlight areas where we can insert images and suggest what those images should be. So we're laying the foundations here. We're putting the building blocks in place, having a really good piece of content. Now you can see it didn't get it right straight away, right? So if we look down here, it says, "Hey there, fellow tradesman. If you're anything like me, you've probably found yourself scratching your head more than once." So it's written it from first person, which is not what we want, and it's too casual. Okay, so like, well, grab a cuppa and let's chat about how to turn those late-paying customers into punctual payers. No, this is not professional enough for what we want, right? So I stopped it in its tracks and said, "Look, this is far too casual. Let's try again." And don't write this from the first person perspective. This is being written from our company that serves tradesmen. So then it understood that, right? It's really good. I find Claude, like having an actual back and forth conversation with it, trying to get it aligned with what we want is really, really easy compared to ChatGPT. I find it takes more iterations with ChatGPT. So here, it's kind of reverted to something that is usable. All right. So we've got like a bit of an intro here, and then we got like section 1, establish clear payment terms. It gives an example. There's going to be an image suggestion here, and then we get onto the section 2. But the problem that I have with this is it's too AI formatted, right? It's like this section, little intro, bullet point, bullet point, bullet point, bullet point, bullet point, bullet point. I don't want loads and loads and loads of bullet points on this page. I don't mind some, but I don't want it to just be like just a blog post full of bullet points, right? But it has got some good content in here. It's creating templates that the reader can use. So there's some really good stuff in here. But I find it a little bit pithy and a little bit shallow, to use the term. You can see I put it in here. So the content feels pithy and shallow. Revise and add some depth. And this is where it sort of took on a new lease of life, right? And this is where things got really exciting, because as it was progressing this post and sort of really diving deep into transforming this into a useful piece of content, it cracked open the sidebar, which is where it uses these things called artifacts, where it starts coding and using Markdown to insert pieces of content inside the content, which I'll show you in a second. And I got really excited by that. So as you can see down here, we've got the intro, which is a lot more robust than it was previously. We've got this establishing robust payment terms and contracts. So you can see that the content is a lot more robust, and it's more explanative, if that's even a word. I think it is. We've got a better example here with more detail. And then you can see here, it's also included it was created an artifact here, and you can see them on the right hand side as well. And it's inserted that, which is a simple payment terms for UK tradesmen. So very simple. This is a template that somebody could use. I'm not saying that this is the best thing ever, and it's certainly probably not legally binding, but it's giving the reader a useful understanding of what is possible, or what they should, the direction that they should be thinking. Now, it's provided this in Markdown, right? So one of the things that we could do with this is we could turn this into a document, and we could have it as a link on the page. We could turn this into a PDF, and we could actually have it as a link on the page for something that the user or the reader could download, which would be useful, right? And that's what we're trying to be here. So really cool. I was like, okay, well, it's written a little template out. That's nice. And then it carried on, right? So then it was going down here explaining about invoicing best practices, suggested reminder schedule. So 3 days before due date, on due date, 3 days after due date. So really, really comprehensive in terms of what it's actually giving us here now. So now we've got a couple of email templates that the user can use. And then we started getting down to this piece here, where it's actually creating tables and inserting tables of data into the content as well, which is amazing. You know, this is the type of structured piece of content that we want to have on a blog that's really useful. So you can see down here, it's going into diversifying payment options. So offering a variety of payment methods can significantly reduce payment delays. And then it goes into the popular payment methods, and then it's created a table of the pros and cons of those payment methods, which is amazing. And then it's even gone one step further here, and it's actually created a comparison of payment processors for UK tradesmen. So if we click into this, you can see it's also created this artifact here that that compares PayPal, Stripe, Square, Go Cardless. What you would definitely need to do is double check that all these figures are right. We can't just blindly rely on the AI being 100% correct, but this is just amazing. This is such a useful piece of content that we can now take and create a really good, strong blog post around. And a lot of it is going to be copy and paste into your CMS of choice, and then just edit on top from there. So we got that comparison there, which was amazing. Anyway, you get the idea. I can keep scrolling down. It kind of ran out of tokens here, and it stopped halfway through. So I asked it to continue, and it carried on. Next, it started to compare the accounting software that's available in the UK: Xero, QuickBooks, Sage. It gives all the features and benefits. Just to be able to lift this content, which you can do if you see here, you can actually download this content to a file, or you can copy it. Which is really useful, so that we can lift that and put it into the blog post. And finally, the thing that really blew me away here is it's also created this really the seventh section in this blog post. It's talking about strategies for handling persistent late payers. So it gives a step-by-step approach, ends in legal action. But it actually created a decision tree for handling late payments. Look at this. This is crazy. So now you can see here that it's created invoice due date, payment received, yes or no. So no, send a reminder. Payment received, no. Phone follow-up, payment received, no. Final notice. You get the idea. It's consider legal action. It ends up if we just keep saying no. And again, this could be lifted. It doesn't have to be just copy pasted. It doesn't have to be screenshot, but we could use the basis of this to just create a infographic that we could drop into here as well. So I'm just going to move this back down here. This is by far a much more useful piece of content that we would be proud to put on our website that is actually helpful for our readers. So I just wanted to show you this. I just wanted to show you what this was capable of. It's kind of blown me away today. We will definitely be using this for our website, and we would definitely be promoting these pieces of content to our customers and to our potential customers, because this is actually really helpful. It's not just 5 top tips for not getting paid on time or whatever it might be. This is actually useful information that the reader can actually take and put into practice. Anyway, if you liked the video, thanks for sticking out for this long. Drop a quick like, drop a subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.